This is my Malefic deck. First monster. The only normal summonable monster in the whole deck outside of the gear. But pretty good beat stick for the deck. Trade-inable. Awesome. For right now, there's 2 copies of Malefic Blue Eyes White Dragon. Two copies of Malefic Cyber Dragon, because I just honestly don't know what the fuck happened to my third one. 3 copies of Malefic Parallel Gear. Being pure Malefics, it makes summoning for Paradox Dragon quite nice. Knocking off their synchros, stealing them. Great times, great times. 3 copies of Malefic Stardust Dragon. A staple for any deck using Malefic cards. It could even be added into anything really strongly using a field card. I've even seen Gravekeepers using this damn thing. But only 2 copies of Malefic Truth Dragon. Is it a freaking busted ass beat stick? But it does cost half your life points. But it can dodge timing issues, damage step issues. Amazing card. On to the spell cards. Allure of Darkness, Dark Hole, Forbidden Chalice, Forbidden Lance. We have 3 copies of Malefic World. The like fucking cornerstone of this deck. Can search out like half the cards in this deck. Necessary for Paradox Dragon anyway. Mystical Space Typhoon. Three copies of Terraforming, which I'm only keeping 3 because I'm going to be adding Dragon Ravine to this deck, changing it around a little bit soon. Trade-in. Helps keep my Blue Eyes from being dead draws, gives more purpose to Barbaros than being a beat stick. Can even use a Stardust if I'm in an emergency and just need more cards. Trap lineup. 3 Dark Bribe. Considered a stupid card to use by most, but in this deck, if you play it just right, it can be freaking awesome. The draw doesn't really matter when you're swinging for 3, 4, 5,000 points of damage a turn. Then we have 2 copies of Eradicator Epidemic Virus. Another of the boss cards in this deck. Since all of your special summon Malefic monsters are 25 or more, it can always go off with any of them. And it's pretty damn nasty. You choose spell cards first turn, and it destroys a lot of today's meta decks. 3 copies of Malefic Claw Stream. Told by people not to run this card, but I've had more success with it than without it. I mean, it's searchable, chainable, 1-for-1 removal. Not very many cards have that going for them. Then there's 3 copies of Skill Drain. This card basically disables the weaknesses of Malefic monsters and even enhances their strengths. Even helps stop annoying ass cards your opponent plays, like fucking Judgment Dragon, for example. And then in the extra deck, we have 1 copy of 5-Headed Dragon, 3 copies of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon, 3 copies of Cyber End Dragon, 3 copies of Stardust Dragon, and then 3 copies of Malefic Paradox Dragon. This card is freaking awesome. Play something to make them bait out their Stardust, then use this and steal it from them. Freaking amazing. Well, that's about it for this deck profile.